That is how we talk to each
You
other.
don't need that Celsius.
Are you sure?
No.
Celsius is so good for you.
Do your commercial.
I drink Celsius to stay awake and out of prison.
Welcome to the Elite Life Podcast with your hosts, Trisha and Kylie. Here, we guide you on a journey of personal and professional transformation, revealing the secrets to success. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, join us as we unlock the doors to the elite world of growth, grit, and grace. So, let's dive in.
Welcome, friends, to another episode of the Elite Life Podcast. I'm Trish, and here with me, as always, is my amazing co-host Kylie. And today we have a phenomenal guest joining us.
Yay!
Jill.
I'm so excited for you to be here.
Jill.
Let's say the last name.
Bugeja.
How do you pronounce your last name? Can we?
Bugeja.
Bugeja.
I like Bugeja.
Yeah.
Like, did you guys ever see? You probably didn't because you didn't have your
Ollie G?
girls are too young and you didn't have girls. But there used to be the Powerpuff Girls, and there was a bad guy on there that was Mojo Jojo. And I think that's why I now say Bugeja.
Well, every time I say your name, I think of Ali G. Booyakasha. Let us go.
Well, Jill is the top producing realtor at Elite Realty for 2023.
Absolutely.
And she is also a patient care technician on the mother-baby unit at Trinity Health Hospital. So she gets to bring life into the world and then house it too. Like, you're like a superhero.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show. Do you want to say hi?
Hi, everyone.
I didn't give Jill a spot to say hi.
You didn't.
I'm just like, this is the
Fine,
Kylie
I'll
and Trish
just
show.
sit
Welcome.
here nicely.
Well, on top of all of that, she's also balancing her roles as a devoted baseball mom to her son Marcus, who's now playing in college.
Woo-hoo.
Plus, she's deeply involved in charity work with Poet Animal Rescue. That's where we got Tigger from. So
Yes.
I love you for that. We're thrilled to unpack your journey here for our listeners.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to the Elite Life Podcast, Jill. We're so excited you're here.
Now that we've established that we're excited Jill is here.
Yes.
All
And
right.
Kylie is drinking Celsius, which she doesn't need.
I don't know. We'll see what happens.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, how did you get started in real estate? What brought you to the baby delivery world? Like, take us to little baby Jill and bring us to today.
So I always wanted to be a nurse all through my life. So after high school, I got into the healthcare industry. And then I had Marcus and wanted something with a little more flexibility in the job instead of working 12 hours a day and having to figure out childcare. So got into real estate in 2005 when he was 2 years old. So that I could kind of be there for him when he grew up and go to all the baseball games and do the co-op preschools and be the room mom and, you know, be fully on board with all that. So, yeah, I got into that, and I kind of missed the healthcare side because I had left that. So then I decided to go back contingent. So that's where I kind of ended up at Trinity Health Ann Arbor, also known as St. Joe's to everyone. So I kind of love that. I was formerly on a cardiology unit, which kind of puts stress on you and you deal with in the end of life.
It's not as fun.
No, you are there, and I held many hands at the end that did not have family, and having to do that, so that weighs on your heart and mind and body, so that's why I kind of needed the change and left, and then now I'm on the fun side.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine, like, real estate's stressful, and then, like, being on the end of life was stressful. Like, you had to, that would not be.
Yeah, you kind of have to go into a separate world in your mind to be in those rooms, and now you look back and you're like, how did I do that? You just did. You just have to.
Well, I think it takes a special person to step up and step in, because there, like you said, there are people out there who unfortunately, for whatever reason, don't have family or friends who can be there to comfort them at the end. And I mean, fact of life, we're all going to get there someday. And I think it takes a really special person like you to step into that spot and just play that role for them and be able to pack that in a box and go home. And I'm pretty sure you probably hugged everybody extra tight on those days. Absolutely.
So, like, was there, you said you always wanted to be a nurse. Did you, like, see one on TV? Like, what was the inspiration behind that? Did you have a mentor or somebody in your family? Or what brought that idea to baby Jill?
No, my parents were both Lutheran school teachers, so I grew up with that. My mom actually wanted to be a nurse before she got into the teaching. So kind of still had that caring attitude. And one of my fun stories is when I was 4 years old, I was a wild child at my babysitter's house, and my friend was outside.
You weren't wild.
Yes. I do not know how it happened, but my friend was outside, and I decided to run full force through the door wall.
Oh.
Did not know it wasn't open. That was my blind moment. And so my mother was teaching, and my babysitter had to rush me to the school. Little did I know, 4-year-old Jill, that I was going into shock at that point. Took me to Oakwood, and I'm singing Jesus Loves Me as I'm in the x-ray booth, and I guess everybody could hear me in the waiting room. And I came out unscathed with just a cut on my hand and a cut on my leg, and for whatever reason, I was spared that day.
Oh my God.
Jesus loves you.
Yes, exactly.
100%.
And then I went through eye surgeries. We have the wonderful lazy eye, which we did many surgeries when I was a baby, and many tonsillectomies and tubes in the ears. So I was a fun child.
But you had a lot of experience.
Yeah,
so.
you were around the medical field. And
Yes.
you've seen that they helped you, and they probably, when you're younger, because I also have the lazy eye and did multiple eye surgeries, just like Jill.
Yes.
And was in the doctors a lot. And then I went to U of M to want to be a doctor. So it's probably like that same vibe. You're around like all those people that are taking care of you and making you feel good and helping you to get better. And then it's like, oh, I want to be one of these people.
I want to care for people and be there during their tough time.
Yeah. So, but now you get to have like the babies. Like, did just a job open up, or you were like, I want to like go in?
Yeah, I always wanted to do OB, deliver the babies, and this job opened up, and I kind of like this better. I get them after they're delivered.
Right.
And then we get to snuggle them. So we still have some of the OB nurses come over and like, let's see the baby. How are you guys doing the next day? Because they don't really get to snuggle babies and see that point. They're just bring them out and pass them on.
So is that how it works? So after the baby's born, you come in, do you do the testing and all of that stuff?
Yeah, so at Ann Arbor, labor and delivery and mother baby is separate. So you deliver your baby, you stay for the 2 or 3 hours afterwards for recovery, and then you transfer over to us for the rest of your stay.
Okay.
So yeah, then I do the testing, getting up the C-section moms, and then do all the baby testing, give the little babies their first bath.
Oh, that's so cool. So I know you said you got into real estate, like shifting gears back to real estate, for the flexibility. Did you know somebody in real estate? What kind of how did that bug bite you?
Actually, Lino, my husband, kind of said, well, why don't we get our real estate license, something secondary for him, because he was working at Ford at the time, and then, something with a little more flexibility for me. Sure, let's do it. And I'm the one that did it and passed the test, and he didn't. So here I am.
Do you know how often that happens? Like our new recruit, Kim Bazzi, that's her same story. And her husband worked at Ford's too. Yeah. You guys have the same story. Yep, we're going to go do it together. And then the wife gets it, and the husband's like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'll sit here.
Oh, see, Ryan and I took it together because I was like, I have this vision of us being this super real estate power couple, right? And so I went through it. I took my test. I passed on the first try. Praise to Jesus. I didn't get any math questions. And so he went through, he failed his first try. And I was like, we just spent this money for the course. Like, you just went through all of it. You went through Stars Academy. Like, you're not quitting. And he's like, no, I'm not quitting. So he spent the next 2 weeks just straight. There was no fishing videos. There were no hunting videos on YouTube. It was just straight studying. And then he went and he passed. And now he's running a maintenance business.
Yeah. That's all right. So, like, obviously managing two very demanding and different careers is like no small feat. Like, share with our audience, if you can, like some of the insights on how you kind of balance your time and energy between the two of them.
Have my written schedule down. I am old school. I have to have my written calendar. I can't trust my phone to tell me what I need to do each day. So,
Stupid phones.
I know. So I have to write it down. That way I know who's going where and when and what I'm doing each day. We even have a write-on board so I can, make my task list and wake up in the morning. Okay, now I'm going to Ann Arbor today. Okay, now I'm at the office. And then I can schedule the showings around that, and then just keeping organized with your schedule.
Organization is definitely everything.
Yes.
So this is one thing, at my house, my husband is technologically disinclined. God bless him. And I'm on Trisha's boat. I am all about the Google Calendar. He's like, what's for dinner? I'm like, it's on the Google Calendar. Well, what are the kids doing? Well, it's on the Google Calendar. I'm like, look at the Google. I color code this shit. So how do you communicate with the rest of your household since you have a paper calendar? Is it just...
It's on the paper calendar, so we have all the baseball schedules, the work schedules, meetings, everything on the paper schedule, and then we have a write-on board that's up in the kitchen that just has this week's schedule that I fill in every Sunday night. Okay, and even Marcus's class schedule is on there, so we know when he's coming and going. We have my work
when
schedule
he's dropping off his laundry.
I know. Yes, when I have to feed the child.
An influx of dirty dishes coming on Tuesday.
Right, exactly. Tuesdays are his long day, praise Jesus, so he will not be home till 10 o'clock tonight.
Aww.
So.
The handy-dandy whiteboard, man. I'm telling you.
Have that, because that was one of the conflicts in the household. Like, I don't know what you're doing each day. So therefore, our compromise was getting the write-on board, so that way, whatever we're doing, it's on the whiteboard for the week. And so that way, if I'm not home, look at the whiteboard. Okay, you're working today.
Right.
Okay, you're at the showing for the day.
Wait a minute, she's supposed to be here. Is she in a trunk somewhere?
Right, exactly.
That's why the whiteboard is important.
Yes.
So we know when to start looking for
or
Mom.
Life 360, so you can stalk each other.
See, that's one thing. Like when we started real estate, it was a non-negotiable. I feel very there have been a couple days where like I've been showing down in Detroit and I have no service for whatever reason. Going down like the lodge, I have zero service in that area for whatever reason, and so my Life 360 doesn't work. So it makes me very nervous and anxious when Ryan doesn't know where I'm at, so that's definitely, if you get Life 360.
Yeah, Life 360 in your family is super important. Like, we've utilized it before where me and Dave were in Vegas for a convention for GrowthCon.
I love this story.
And Trent had a hockey game down in Detroit, and like he calls us and his GPS wasn't working, but we could see him on Life 360. So we were able from Vegas to be like, okay, turn right, go up 2 streets, turn left, and like get him out of Detroit.
Yeah,
and
because
back on the
getting out of
freeway.
Detroit, if you don't drive around down there often, it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
There are so many just like one ways, this way, and I grew up in Waterford and White Lake, so I'm not a city driver at all. Ever.
Yeah, for sure. So, like, being the top producer last year, were you able to, do you utilize, like, not like use your position at the hospital, but are you able to tap that network to get clients and leads? Like, do you want to talk a little bit about how you like marry the two at all?
She gets those new mothers up like, hey, I know you just had a baby, so you're probably going to need some more space. Here's my card.
Let's turn that 2-bedroom into a 3-bedroom.
Right.
How big's your house?
Yeah.
You are Catholic, you are being fruitful and having lots of
multiplying.
Are you up to the white Econoline van yet?
Yeah, whatever they come and pick her up in the
Yes.
wheelchair in, you're going to judge what kind of house they
Right,
need.
exactly. Yeah, so I've used the position not for patients because we can't really cross that.
Right.
I've brought it up if it's in conversation. I love talking to people, obviously, so I'm in the room a lot talking to the parents. And so if they ask her kind of, how long have you worked here, blah, blah, blah. And I can
find
kinda
ways to fit
stick
it in.
that in.
Yep.
Yeah.
So mostly a lot of the business from the hospital aspect is from the nursing staff.
Right.
From the people that I work with. They obviously see my work ethic at the hospital, so they know I'm a hard worker there and kind of my positive attitude and really working to get things done for people. So they trusted me to kind of help them on that housing purchase as well.
Yeah, I love that. And I ask it because, like, we've had people come into the office. Like, there was a woman I'm thinking of that was Rachel's friend, and she was like, well, and I believe she was in nursing as well. And she was like, I'm doing this nursing gig. Like, I don't know if there's a point to me getting my real estate license. Like, I was going to get it, but I don't think you can do it part-time. And I'm like, actually, doctors and nurses need houses. Big houses.
Right.
So it's actually very perfect for somebody like if you're a listener and you have another full-time career like Jill, or any of our other agents like Wendy Pachota, she's a teacher. Becky Montroy, she's a teacher. Like you can have another full-time career and be able to get clients from that career. Like I love what you said. Like they see me work hard. They see my ethic. They know I'm going to do a good job. And so they can entrust me to take care of them and help them find a house because like how many days a week do you usually work in the nursing situation right now?
2 days a week. I love my shift. I work at 6:30 in the morning until 3 p.m. in the afternoon.
Boom.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and everybody asks me, like, how do you do both? Well, because I'm wearing my nursing hat until 3 o'clock. Then I can still field emails and phone calls. I can slip into the break room or on my break. They're all laughing at me because I'm half eating, half responding to emails, doing
setting
things
up
like
showings.
That. Exactly. And then after 3, then I come home, I change, and then I'm in front of the computer until whatever time need be with my real estate hat on, or if I have showings, they all laugh. I either change at work depending on the time or go home and change and freshen up and get ready. Then I'm the realtor hat.
Yeah. And your family does a great job of being in your corner too. I can remember a couple years where like you got tons of clients from Leno's job too.
Yeah.
So I love that everybody is like, Jill's your girl. She's going to take good care of you.
Yeah. A couple of my sellers right now that are pending are from his work.
Love that.
People that, he blasts on his Facebook and at work that, hey, my wife's a realtor, she'll take care of you. And then I also do that program for the first responders. So it's an added bonus like, hey, Jill will cover your compliance fee if you work with her. And so that's just out of my pocket, for helping the first responders, and that in turn, you give a little, you get a little.
Yeah. I love that you do that program. Go ahead and just, I know you kind of mentioned it, but go ahead and tell our listeners exactly what that involves.
So for the first responders, for the police, fire, for the nursing staff, basically our $595 compliance fee, I will go ahead and pay out of my commission at closing as a thank you to them for being a hometown hero and for helping those around us.
I love that. I love it. And then remember also Elite Realty, shameless plug for us all, always covers anybody who is a veteran or active military duty. We always cover your administrative fee as well. So you will always see that $595 credit on your closing disclosure too. So back to Jill. Kind of shifting gears, one big thing in your life, if you look at your Facebook or if you know you at all, is Poet Animal Rescue. So talk to us a little bit about like your passion for that and how you got into it and how you kind of integrate that into your schedule because it's almost like a third job for you.
Right. So if you look at my Facebook, all you see is dogs. And then
nobody's mad about that.
Right.
Yeah.
Everybody yells at me, would you stop posting the beautiful, cute dogs?
No.
I can't stand it anymore.
Not ever.
Because one of my things is to find every cute little dog a home. And, going back to that caring attitude and then compassion, us all as dog owners know dog spelled backwards is God. And then who is the only one that greets you at the front door and is happy to see you and doesn't have that attitude? It's your dog.
Yes.
So,
I've heard the joke. It was like, if you want to know who loves you most, lock your wife and your dog in your trunk for an hour and see how they respond when you
Yes.
open the trunk again.
exactly.
I know. My kids are always like, you're so happy to see the dogs when you get home. I'm like, if you stood by the door wiggling your butt, maybe I'd be more happy to see you too.
Exactly. And kept your mouth shut and didn't have opinions and was just happy.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and just loving the rescue world, and it's just so rewarding when you're there and you just see the look in their eye, knowing that they're saved and that they've been in a bad situation.
How do you not just bring them all to your house?
Lino tells me no.
Oh, okay, that's good. So
I send him pictures all the time. How about this one? I need land. We need to save them all. No, Jill, we're at the Canton limit, which we have 3 already. So.
I didn't even know there were city limits on how many dogs you can have.
Yes, if you want to be a good person and license them, then there's city limits, unless you are a dog fancier and have more than 2 acres, and then you can have a kennel and you
Well,
can do
how many Frenchies can I have?
I know.
See,
Exactly.
Ryan sent me
Wait.
this Facebook meme, and it was at the top. It said, "If I win the lottery, I'm not telling anyone." And the picture was just like all these beautiful
Yes.
pit bulls just smiling at the camera, and it said, "But there will be signs."
Yes. Yep.
His plan is if we win the lottery, we're just driving straight north to buy a big piece of land, and we're emptying every single dog shelter on the way up.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. So you have these 2 careers, you have the charity work you do, but also like one of the greatest joys, of course, we always love being sports moms. So talk a little bit about how you kind of integrate being a baseball mom, because that's a huge piece of your life too. And you get to travel, and I'll let you talk about all of that.
Right. Obviously, with real estate, that is great flexibility. So you have the game schedules on the calendar, and you know, hey, can't do showings at this time. We have a game. Or being a baseball mom, our phones run our lives, so I can be sitting there and doing work while I'm at the game. And you know, people are saying, why are you here? I thought you're supposed to be working. Well, because real estate, you have the availability to work from your phone, to work from the sidelines. And so you can do that. And I've loved being able to be there. And even though your child may not tell you, they love that you're there too.
Yeah.
Even as they get older, and that's in their memories. I mean, I remember my parents being there at my softball games, and you know, you remember that even though you may not express it to your parents. And so that's one of their great memories that you want to make too. And just being able to travel, and you know, as you probably know, that some of the greatest conversations with your child is on those car rides to and from games, that your teenager will actually open up to you and talk with you because you're stuck in the car.
Right. I'm not listening to your trap rap, and you don't want to listen to my country, so we're
Right.
going to chat.
Right, exactly. Yes.
I love that so much.
And all the wonderful places you get to go, and everybody asks you during the summer, what vacations are you going to have? Well, let's check the baseball schedule. Okay, this year we're going here.
At least you get to go warm places. You like get to go to Florida a lot.
Yeah.
It's just like we did hockey. We went to Wisconsin
And Minnesota.
Yeah.
and Canada.
And Canada.
We got to go to Cooperstown, New York. So
Ooh.
What was your what's been your favorite baseball trip so far?
Cooperstown.
Yeah.
That was a week long. You get to go to the Baseball Hall of Fame. The boys get to stay in an old army barrack. They have it's a
Did
whole
they
complex
love
there.
that?
Yes. By the end of the week, you did not want to go in the army barrack. There was no air conditioning there. So they just had the fans going in the windows. So, you know, all those boys in one little army barrack, how that smelled by the end of the week.
Baseball boys
Yes. yes.
Boys are gross.
We got to stay separate and then go into the park. And it also, taught them responsibility and stuff because they had to make sure that their uniforms got washed and that they went and ate and the coaches were in charge of them. And, then just seeing it was short fence fields. They're 12 years old. You can only go when you're 12 or under. And just seeing the home runs. And then they have a little store that will engrave their name on all that. So we got that. And I got like a hand cast of his hand holding one of the balls in there. So I still have that for his 12-year-old hand.
Oh, I love that. That is great. Okay, you're sharing stories. And in real estate, we have lots and lots of stories. Give us either and you could give us both, like your craziest real estate story or like your favorite real estate story. And they could be the same or they could be different. You're like, what is this show rated?
Right, exactly. Craziest was probably the lady that went to buy the co-op and gave us the wrong name license, and she had actually changed her name. She had lived there before and was not one of the people that they liked. So she went and moved on, came back. I didn't know her, so I show her the place, get her in there. She had a whole different name and license. They did not find out until closing when she was there and showed her license and all that this was the same lady that caused all the issues before.
So they didn't approve, the co-op didn't approve her to move in?
They had to because it was a different name and that they had approved it under the different name. So she slid under the radar on that one. And then I had to send one of our other former realtors to the closing to help out with that. And
I do remember that. Yeah, I do remember that. That was wild. Like, how do you navigate that? Because and how do you love a co-op so much that you change your name so you can go live there again? Like,
I know zero people who love co-ops that much.
Right.
Yeah, that's so super funny and crazy. Oh.
We could all write a memoir probably of some of the things we see.
I think I like the murder house story that Trisha tells. That's a good one. The murder house is good. I feel like fresh enough to where I've only collected a couple of really good stories, but
yeah, you go into the Jeffrey Dahmer basements. You have people ask you what they're thinking of this. You're like, I don't know. Throw my hands up on that one.
No, it's like, what is
no
that?
comment.
Is that? I'm like, oh, that's not blood. That's mineral deposits. Yeah, that's what that is. Rust. Yes. Yeah. Are we writing on this one? Let's buy this one.
And showing in Detroit when you first start out and some of these vacant homes that the back door is open, you're like, should I go in here? I'm 20-something, and is this a great idea? Or you open the door and you see the rats inside, already from the front window, or you open the door and step back to make sure nothing runs out at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are always some fun days.
Well, my next question was going to be, what would you tell somebody who's interested in getting in the real estate industry?
Buy a gun. Buy a gun.
Seriously, with a husband in law enforcement, that was the number one thing.
Yep.
When you are going into a vacant home by yourself, you want to make sure that you are protected. Not that you are, sticking it out in your pocket and showing it to everyone. Just, it always makes you feel a little bit better just to have a little something on your hip and know that you are protected if need be. And just using your own self-consciousness, going, okay, I'm not feeling great about this. Always make sure there's an exit strategy for basements or wherever.
I love it. Well, let's take a quick pause before we come back and ask Jill the fun questions.
The fun questions. You don't want to miss those, friends.
Did you know that over 80% of real estate agents call it quits within their first year in the business? It's a staggering statistic, but at mystarsacademy.com, we're here to change that narrative. Our expert-based training and coaching program caters to both agents and brokers. The Agent Accelerator program is your key to leveling up your real estate business. Learn how to generate a constant flow of free leads, convert those leads into loyal clients, and keep them coming back for more as repeat business. Our industry experts bring years of proven success to the table and provide one-on-one coaching to help you achieve structure and work-life balance. We'll map out a plan for you to follow, guiding you through the steps to scale and grow both in your business and personal life. Don't become another statistic. Visit mystarsacademy.com and enroll today to pave the way for your future success.
And we're back. We're back with Jill.
And Kylie.
And my lack of filter. That makes
Always.
Trisha uncomfortable. If you guys know us, if you tune in often enough, if you watch our YouTube shows, you will catch those. I'm going to make a compilation one day of all the times I'd said something and you did not know what to do next.
You guys need the sound bites so you can just have that on there.
Exactly.
So,
we are talking to Jill Bugeja. And Jill is filling us in on how she does all of the things, the real estate things, the nursing baby things, the baseball mom things, the rescuing dog things, and we're just exhausted listening to her do all the things.
True American hero, female G.I. Joe.
Amen.
Just trying to be like Trish.
So
The Energizer Bunny.
we come to the place in the interview where we ask the fun are we ready for fun questions?
Yeah, that's fine.
Is there any more serious stuff that we should talk about?
No.
Is there
Who's
anything else you want to
serious?
share with the world?
No. Who's serious? I'm not serious.
No, you are super fun, which is why we vibe so hard. All right, Trisha, you get your fun question in first.
If you could go back and give teenage Jill advice, remember her, what advice would it be?
To trust your instincts and to trust what the Lord has for you and don't go on your own understanding and your own decisions.
That's a good one.
Life will be easier if you're not an idiot. That's
Right,
That's what that comes
exactly.
down to,
Don't
friends.
make decisions until your frontal cortex is fully developed.
Right. And have your fun before Life 360 comes into
Right. And the internet and social media.
right. Before you can be tracked.
And trash. I thought you were going to say then you could be trash.
Don't be trash. Don't be trash.
Right.
So usually we say if you could be any animal, what would you be? You'd probably be a dog. Would you be a dog?
Yes.
Okay, so that question's answered.
You just put that in. Maybe it wouldn't have been a dog.
Would it be a dog?
It would be a dog.
Okay, what kind of dog specifically? It would
a
be
boxer.
A boxer? Those are the...
Are you going to let her respond, Celsius lady?
No.
Guy was over here like, I'm ready to run a marathon. Let's go, Trish. You ready?
It's the Jill interview that Kylie talks over.
Yes, exactly.
It's fine.
Yes. I love pitties now. I have 2 boxer pitties mixes.
Oh.
You put together 2 silly, crazy Velcro dog breeds, and you have the best dogs. I was sitting on the couch this morning drinking coffee, and I always have to have a hippo next to me underneath the covers because she'll scratch at that until you let her underneath the covers. You know, they're just like little furry humans.
I love it.
So for people who don't know about pet adoption, because I don't know anything about pet adoption, how does that work? Like if I'm just a regular human and I'm like, you know what, now I want a dog, what do I do?
So you find one of the great posts that I post every single day on the cute dogs, and then you fill out the adoption application from whatever rescue it is. And the great thing about the animal rescues is they will actually weed through all of the applications. They actually have foster homes that are housing the dogs while they're waiting for a new home. So they are learning about their temperament, their characteristics. Are they good with other dogs? Are they good with cats and children? You know, being based on the breed, like a boxer who is jumpy and crazy, maybe you need an older child in the home. So they actually will pre-vet the house to make sure that there's a success story with the dog and you, so you're less likely to return them to the shelter or, you know, another bad situation.
Right.
And make sure that dogs and cats and so on aren't given away for free because we all know they can end up in bad hands
Yeah.
with people that put on the front that they're good and don't end up being good.
So do people pay when you adopt? Do you pay when you adopt a pet?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So pet adoption, the other good thing is they all come spayed or neutered and with their up-to-date vaccines. So your new pet is all up to date on everything.
Okay.
And they're not going to have any illegitimate children.
Well, I remember when we got Tigger, because we were looking for a boxer, and I was on Pet Finder. So I had a search set up for Pet Finder looking for boxer or boxer mixes, and Tigger's face popped up like this. And so I reached out, and she asked me to fill out the application. And the one thing that I did was I wrote a letter, because I wanted the foster mom and the Poet Rescue to know that we're a good family. We have young kids. We love being outdoors. And I do understand there are a lot of families, especially during COVID, everybody went out and got a pet, and then they had to go back to work, and now they're like, oh, I can't be home for my dog. And that was just a non-negotiable for us. And I wanted you guys to know that, like, you know, because you guys ask a lot. There are a lot of questions on the well, what if the dog bites, or what if the dog pees in the house? Like, I was like, we're not returning him. We're not returning him. We're not returning him. We're not returning him. He's a part of our family. He gets in the car and goes to the cabin with us. So those are things that you can think about. You can send a letter in. And I remember Carol called. And she was like, we loved your letter.
Yeah.
Aww.
And would you be interested in, at the time it was Wilson, because the litter was going off of the House cast.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, yes, let's go. And so 10 days before I gave birth to our son, we brought home a brand new dog. And Casey cried. Because Ryan picked him up from school and was like, oh, I got a surprise. And so Casey was like, you're getting a dog. You're getting us a dog. And Ryan was like, I'm going to throw him off the scent. So he took them to Dairy Queen, brought them home. Casey's crying, licking her ice cream. I can't believe you got us a dog. And she's crying, and there's ice cream, and there's a dog. It was the best day ever. Poet Rescue is where it's at.
Yes, and if you are a foster family, you get to figure out what you want to name the litter to. Carol just took in another litter, 2-day-old little pity mixes. So she is currently being a new mother, setting her alarm clock to bottle feed this litter of babies, and they are going to be the Detroit Lions litter.
Yay!
Well, I was going to ask, how do you become a foster parent? Because I was like, oh, maybe I'll like have some puppies. But then you mentioned setting an alarm to bottle feed, and that is not for me.
That's only for the ones that are young, and this little box of puppies was left at the side of the road to die.
Are you serious?
Yeah, she just picked them up yesterday.
People are like, you know.
Still had the umbilical cords attached.
Oh my gosh. What is wrong with people?
But you do not have to foster tiny little babies. We have homes that love doing that and are certified with how to do the bottle babies.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's all different ages, and all these rescues are looking for fosters, because that's the only way that these dogs are going to be saved, is to have foster homes, because all these different rescues are full. And, you know, with all of our cold weather now, there's so many more that are left out in the cold that they want to save, but without foster homes, they can't.
So if you got a home, foster some puppies.
Yes, please fill out an application and foster.
So real quick, where can people go online to connect with you, to connect with Poet, in order to fill out an adoption form or a foster form?
You can follow me on Facebook, Jill
We'll put her link in the show notes.
Yes,
How about that?
Yes. Or www.poetanimalrescue.org. And you can fill out a foster application. Other good thing with being a foster home is you get first dibs at that cute little dog that you have.
I think that's the trick, right? Like,
Yes.
you guys are like, sign up to be a foster
Right.
parent. And then you put this adorable, loving, sweet pupper in somebody's hands. And they're like, well, you're mine now.
Exactly. And this is why Lino says I can't foster, because they would never leave and I would have 50 dogs in my home. But, you know, it helps them to figure out their temperament and their characteristics. And then, yeah, if you love the dog, it stays there. If not, then you're helping a new family know, hey, this is how they are. This is their little quirks. And then you're also helping to pick that new family for that dog that you've been caring for.
I love that so much.
Do you have another fun question?
I don't know.
If you had one wish, what would you wish for? Any wish in the whole wide world.
More dogs, obviously.
Right. Land to save more dogs.
Well, you're a realtor, so you can also
Yes.
pick your land.
I know. Exactly.
You can make your one wish come true.
I know. Exactly.
She's like, got to get the hubby on board. We're working on
Yes.
it.
I want a lake house like Trish, but I also want land. So Leno tells me I can't have both.
That's
I
a
need
lie.
to find both.
Rebecca Vincent has had some land lately
Yes.
that has a lot of land with lakes on it, so I think it is possible.
What about like a
Yes.
big pond? Can we kind of?
No, because I want to dip my toes, and I've had the bloodsuckers on my
Oh,
feet
yeah.
when I was little. So yeah,
Leeches are gross.
I don't do muck. I need to do sandy bottom
Okay.
water.
Well, we're gonna keep an eye out for you.
Yeah. our three realtor powers combined
Right.
equals Captain Planet.
I love
We can
it.
save the world.
Exactly.
All right, friends. Well, that was our amazing interview with Jill. Thank you so much for joining us. Jill, thank you for being here.
Thanks for
This
having
was a
me.
good chat. I'm glad you came. We finally got you on.
Yes. Finally wrote me in.
We didn't write anywhere for you to respond.
I know.
All right, Elite Lifers, you know the drill. Share the show, subscribe, like wherever you are listening, and make sure you hit those notifications so that you can be notified every time we drop new content, which is every Thursday.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us today on the Elite Life Podcast with Trish and Kylie. Don't forget to share this episode with a friend so we can keep delivering you more fantastic insights on grit, grace, and growth. Stay connected with us on Instagram and Facebook, where we'll keep the ideas flowing to help you build a life you love and leave a legacy you can be proud of. Until next time.